I know. I've not been on the channel for weeks on end now. Just been busy with various other things, not just work. Anyway, getting back to business. First of all, I've got a HP. Let me see what the model number is. HP15AB288SA. Now, we've already established, well, I have already established the battery's not charging, which is a common problem. Plugged in but not holding the charge means that the battery's knackered. Obviously, this laptop's quite old. That's just broken off, so I'll patch that off after. I believe there is a system fan that's not working. Let me show you the message when I plug the charger in. And power on. I'll show you what the message coming up basically. So you've got a error code system fan, error code 90B, and it says continued operation is not recommended, blah blah blah. What it is that the system will shut down in 15 seconds. What it is that'll just overheat the CPU. If it's got a dedicated graphic chip, I should say, it'll also overheat that as well. So it is absolute critical that without any further usage of the laptop, you sort of get this looked at by somebody competent. Right, so first thing first, let's dismantle the unit. Ouch. Oh, fucking hell, there's a crown, there's a broken thing in there. I'll come back to that after. Missing screw. Another missing screw. With the angle I'm sat, sometimes it can be difficult to see if the screw's inside the slot itself. Yeah, the back is a bit filthy, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give that a clean. However, the problem what we have here is that this screw's got a broken crown. So I've got to pray that out, but before I can do that, let me sort of get a tray and start organising stuff so not misplacing them. Okay, so this is my tray with all the bits. You can't misplace them, can you? And it's all labelled. So there we have that. Let's sort of create a bit of space in the room. Now, when you have something like this with the main electrical wire exposed, I would definitely urge you to sort of replace this cloverleaf cable. Absolutely essential. I wouldn't advise you to do that. You can try plenty of electrical insulation tape if you can't sort of if you don't have access to one of them basically, but you can pick them up off eBay, whatever it is, for dead cheap money anyway. I think it's probably about a £5. So, but this is definitely no, particularly when children are using basically, you know. I mean, to be honest with you, it doesn't matter whether it's children or adults. All it needs is a little slit here from the live wire, and it'll throw you across the room basically. So don't be a douchebag. Get it replaced. Otherwise, you'll end up killing somebody or killing yourself. Right, so I'm going to take this off. It is running slow, so there's 3 problems that it came up with. Running slow, battery's not charging, and fan issue. And on top of that, the cable as well. So four issues with it, basically. Yes, I will refurbish it for them, providing that they're quite happy to spend. Let me find another praying tool. There we have it. What I'm trying to do is lever this and create a bit of a pressure. So that in itself should pop out the screw, but it'll do it slowly. Trust me, I've been in the game for long enough to manipulate, well, or deal with these sort of bloody issues. There we have it. What's happened is that the crown is broken, and because the crown is broken, the whole thing is just going round and round basically on the inside, which effectively means that the unit, the screw's not going to come off. So I've had to use this particular tactic to try and get the whole thing taken out. Look at all that dust. That's just absolutely insane, that. Oh, for God's sake, I've dropped my tweezers in the bin. Right, here we have it. Okay, let's move all that. Got another screw here. Been taken out. Right, so the just have a quick inspection, make sure there is a screw here. CD drive's got to pop open. Sometimes there's screws under the CD, which in this case, yes. We have some couple of, somebody's been at it. Go. There you go. But one screw's missing. Either it's dropped out or somebody's been at it. Being the so-called fucking technician and not putting the whole thing back together. Right, there's not going to be any further screws, so I'm going to sort of, there's a lot of things breaking off at the back. Fucking it, man. This is going to be one of those jobs where it's absolutely disaster. And I'll tell you something, without even opening, right, I've not even opened it, the fan's working, but it's blocked. It's absolutely blocked, right? I'm 99.99999% adamant that the fan is working, but it's blocked. It's a working fan, but it's blocked. And the system senses that there's no movement on the fan, and as a result of that, it's showing various other things, basically. So let's see, why is this messing about? This should just flick open like any man's business. Where is the motherboard attached? Yep, motherboard's attached on the actual palm rest. So let's have a play around with this. Show you what I'm doing here. Oh man, there's a lot of stuff breaking off from here. Shit. I wish I didn't. Oh, I hate this. You know what? I hate this type of jobs. There's a lot. Look at all that bits that's broken off, and all these bits that's broken off. So shit. This is one of the type of a job where it's been absolutely battered. The laptop's been battered, basically. I'm going to keep them because I don't know where it's going to go, but I'm going to keep these. Right. Let me grab my hoover and just clean up this mess what I've got here, basically. Right. Anyway, hope you guys have been keeping well. Right, okay, so first thing first is let's just have a quick overall view of everything else. Okay. Yeah, let's dismantle the fan. Yeah. I was right. So there's a piece of plastic thing that's broken in. And that's preventing the fan from spinning freely. So yeah, it wasn't blocked with dust, but it was blocked with a piece of plastic, basically. Hence, I'm going to take it apart. Oops. May have taken the wrong screw, so that will stay there, and I think that will go in. Okay. One thing I'm glad about is some of this hinge support is actually on the metal bit basically, so that's not going to snap off easily. Right, so let me dust all that off. So I can already spot one of the crowns what I've found is broken off here basically, and one is loose there and one's fallen off from somewhere, which I will find after. I will try my best to put them back in its place. Let's give this fan a bit of a dusting, and let's just put me over there. Yep, that'll do. That's nice and clean enough. So the error for the fan will be gone now. That's for definite. Just grab a screwdriver, put them in this place, and I need to check the battery connectors on the board just to make sure that we're quite satisfied with the voltage from the actual pinouts. So it's nothing to do with the actual battery charging section basically. So, well, I need to confirm that, and the way to confirm that is to obviously turn the laptop on. Now, the concern I have here is there's only one screw supporting the hinge, so I may have to. I've repaired that for them in the past. Yeah, this has definitely been to me basically. So those missing screws must have fallen out, or member of his family, the so-called kids, must have tried taking it off. We'll check the hard drive as well. So I'll be testing the memory hard drive. Obviously the fan problem's fixed. I know that for sure. I've got to check the terminal. So when something comes in for a repair, there's an element of protocols that needs to be. A protocol needs to be followed, right? So you got step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. What do you do? The way I deal with things like this is test the drive, make sure the drive is okay, there's no bad sectors and whatever, followed by memory, battery, overheating issues, things like that. So the initial checkup, there is quite a bit to do basically. So therefore, as I always said, value your time. Make sure you charge them for a diagnostic. There's no fix, no fee. That's understandable because you can't fix it. So I can't fix it. If I can't fix it, that's absolutely fine. But if I can fix it and they're turning down the estimate, then you've actually utterly wasted several hours of your time doing all the testing, opening it up, checking everything, blah blah, whatever it is, right? So value your time, because I can promise you only a handful of customers will value your time and they'll appreciate doing what you're doing basically. Okay, but On the other hand, others will take that as an advantage. And I just don't blame customers entirely, because they've been educated to that level. These douchebag repair shops who actually come up, takes work on board and just mess around with people, look at it for free, and they've wasted an hour of the time and 2 hours, whatever it is. They hand it back to the customer. Oh, it's okay, yeah, blah. This is how people get educated. People, they say that people are born innocent. So people are not born with all these duck and diving ideas and not respecting people's time and things like that. It's how they get educated, or how they educate themselves. Now, if we as a repair community have a decent policy to ensure that the best interest of the shop and the customer, that there is some sort of a policy that's been put in place, then that would work in everybody's favor. But hence saying that, it's quite a difficult one, basically, because although you tell so many shops, and I deal with a handful of shops basically, and I keep on telling them, but sometimes I feel that's those sort of advices, it's not sort of taken seriously enough, basically, because they might upset their customers and think, oh, fuck them. If they don't want to value your time, if they're not prepared to pay £20, £30, whatever it is, basically, to have a look at the unit, then give them an estimate. But what I am saying is I am leaving a bit of room for negotiation. What I'm saying is that if you decide not to fix the unit, providing that we have given you a reasonable amount, a fair price to fix the unit, so it's within economical repair, then I'd expect somebody to sort of say, all right, go ahead with it. And I'll tell you something, hand on heart, a lot of decent customers that I deal with, yeah, just get on with it. Just get on with it, please. How quickly can I have it? Those are the words that comes out. Not moaning and whinging about it's too expensive, too this, too that, blah, blah, whatever it is, right? Okay. So, like I said, I'm probably moving from one topic to another, but like I said, just value your time and educate those people, and try and keep away from, what the statement what I made before. Yeah, this has been opened. This has been opened by somebody, I'll tell you that. My instinct says, look, right? So when I open up a laptop, which I did, this had a board repair back in the days, quite a while ago. See these two antennas? That one's got a blue marking on. That has no marking. Now, where you see that marking, that's my dot. That's a signature of me working on that board, basically, right? This antenna should have been on that side, and that antenna should have been on this side. So that tells me that this has been to a workshop somewhere else. And when you see something like that, you've got to be on a high alert, basically, because these people might be completely and utterly wasting your time. See what's happening? All these crowns and everything just freaking breaking off, mate. Jeez. I might have to sort of bolt some screws through the top. I hope it's not just underneath the power button, man. Flipping it. That might be a tricky one. That I might be able to put one here, just to strengthen these hinges and everything. So this is going to be a tricky one, that, basically. Right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to power it up. Let's power it up. And obviously the fixes aren't going to get done today. But this was more of a diagnostic process, basically. I'm going to put a bit of a taping around that, basically, because I don't want to risk myself short getting caught up with something that I've already just warned you guys with. So I don't know, there might be a very small slit somewhere, and by flexing the cable, that slit opens up and just zaps me. But it's not going to happen, mate. So let's sort of deal with this. put sufficient layer of tape in, but that's not recommended. This is just a temporary patch of this, okay? It's not recommended, absolutely not. Just replace it with a new cloverleaf cable. That's all. You've got 3 types of cable. You've got the kettle lead, you've got the figure 8 cable, which looks like an 8 with 2 holes on them, and then you got your cloverleaf, which is these basically. That's what cloverleaf looks like. Okay. Right, so power it on. Yes, I do have a fan spinning. I'm not going to get the error message for the fan now. It will boot to Windows basically. So there you have that problem's been rectified. But hence that doesn't mean that everything else is okay. I've got to run the test on the disk drive and the memory as well. So I'll probably run a system diagnostic on it and just make the customer aware. I'm not going to spend too much time on it because we don't know yet that the customer is going to fix it or not. So we'll just have a quick look at it and we'll take it from there basically. So it is slow. They have complained that it's quite slow. Okay, here we have it. It's loaded to Windows. Hence, not sure if it's got an email address, this Windows. Oh, it's ridiculously slow, that is. Wow, that is slow. Come on, give me the shutdown option. Yeah. So, you need to check one more thing, which is the battery. Wow, it is slow, that. That is slow, very slow. Right, okay. Let's Right, the next bit to check is the battery. So I'm just looking at some parts online at the moment as I'm talking to yourself. So right, okay, so what I'm going to do now is I would like to test the battery terminals, make sure I'm getting the right voltages. This side of the crown will require quite a bit of work basically. I'm not quite sure I'm going to plan this out because it's just directly above the power switch. So yeah, I'll sort something out. It's not a problem for me. So yeah. We have a fan spin. We have a fan spin there. Okay. Now let's get the multimeter in position. Let's check the battery terminals, make sure that what we're getting, the volt reading what we should be getting. Let's ground. Those are your positive terminals, 0.833, 0.833, 3.3, 3.3, and I should have something similar. Yep, okay. That's going to be a ground. Right, so that's without the battery connected. So you're not going to get full voltage through the battery terminal unless you connect the battery. So when we connect the battery, the voltage should increase on the first 2 pins. Oh, come on, Zoom. That's better. So let's relook at that circuit. Sadly, I don't want to use the digital zoom. It's just going to ruin the thing actually. So, oops. I thought that I'd have access to the actual pins, but I'm not. So it's detected the battery okay, but the two battery terminals are only drawing 0.205. Second pin, third pin from the left, that was 3.3 before, fourth pin was 3.3 before. That's fine, those are normal. That's 0 volt, that's fine. And that's 0 volt, that's again number pin 6 is 0. That was 3.2 something something, and the last two pins are ground. So this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pin battery connector on the actual PCB. So as soon as I've detected the battery, this should start reading 0.8. Oh, it's still, oh, right, okay. Yeah, to my mind, the battery's absolutely knackered. Battery's absolutely knackered. Basically, it's not drawing any current, and that's one of the reasons why you're not seeing an increase on the voltage on those terminals, because the battery charging IC will release its voltage as soon as it detects the battery, but the battery needs to draw the power in. Because remember, there's also another circuit in the battery compartment itself, basically, and they both communicate with the motherboard charging IC, charging section, and the circuitry within the battery itself, and that's not happening here at the moment. Okay. So I do believe that it's the battery that's got an issue. Flick it off. Just a quick another probe. Yeah. So I'll turn it back on again. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. That's absolutely fine. Right, so what's next is now I'm going to run a system diagnostic basically just to see where we're at with it basically without the battery connected. This laptop requires quite a bit of work. It does, so it's going through, sorry, didn't get this to do this. It's going through this, okay, I'll just let this run anyway. It's one of the HP's quick test system test thing basically, so that'll let you establish if there's a hard related issue, for example, the hard drive's knackered, bad sectors, if there's a memory issues, battery's not connected. I should have connected the battery actually, but not installed. So it's checking the battery, but it's not installed here. I don't think you can see all that. Hang on. There we go. I'm trying to keep the movement of this lid as to the bare minimum because it's going to snap off from the back. Basically, that's the reason why I'm doing the way I'm doing things. But yeah, that's all really. So to conclude this matter, this laptop requires a battery, a cloverleaf cable, possibly upgraded to a solid-state disk drive, and I've got to rebuild these hinges support so that it doesn't break. A lot of cracks here on the actual base as well. So this has been beaten quite thoroughly. The laptop's had quite a heavy use. All these pieces broken. There's a lot of dust. These pieces broken from the back somewhere here. That's part of this this piece basically. Let me show you. They're in 2 pieces basically. So yeah, they can be glued back on for sure, like that, like these. So yeah, but this is no big deal. I can get that done for them. But let's give them a price. But we'll take you from there. But that's all, guys. This is just very brief walkthrough of how I go about troubleshooting and spending my time diagnosing things basically to make sure that you know, everything's done properly. This most probably I'm going to upgrade it to a solid state disk drive, providing that the customer's happy with the price. Anyway, guys, that's all for today. Hope you guys stay well, stay safe wherever you are, and I will be in touch as quickly as I can. There'll be more videos upload soon. So anyway, take care. Bye for now. Peace.